At Alana McLaughlin, and she's given us some information in reference to children in a digital world. But more specifically, Alana, let's see if we can talk about some of your activities in this digital world. First of all, let's talk about some of the instruments that you use, the laptop, the iPod 2, and that kind of information. And tell us, for the benefit of not only our audience, but for young people who might not understand, tell us how these instruments work and how they help you do whatever you attempt to do.
Well, I think I should start with the iPod. It's one of my most delicate features. It has songs and, as you see, pictures and stuff like that. It also has songs. You can download things. It has basically everything. It has everything that a regular computer would have, and even internet service, free radio. All that kind of stuff. It has book readers, automatic book readers. And when I first got an iPod, I found this was kind of big for just a small little nano-sized thing like this, but it has all of it. And I find it kind of weird that all this little thing right here, this little instrument, has all those big features.
Well, that's the purpose of this digital world that we're talking about now, the ability to sort of compress things and give a lot of information. You're also involved with a laptop. I think and I know that all of these instruments you have is because I've purchased many of these instruments. And so, what about your laptop activity?
I have a Windows 6 Live Messenger laptop. There's not really words to explain it. It's just so amazing. I mean, it has all the things. It has more than this little iPod here, and it has all the things the cell phone would have. Usually, people have these little things they used to have, like big monitor laptops, but laptops can be at least this size right now. I'm like, what? When did this happen? What happened to the 1980 big old monitor laptops? Now there's iPods this big and this small. What happened? What happened?
Do you find that people have much access, children that you know have much access to these digital devices? And if not, what seems to be some of the problems that they have in terms of being able to have access to them?
Sadly, I do not know many kids who have as much things as this, and cell phones and iPods and laptops and Nintendo DSIs and televisions. I don't, because the main reason why all these kids can't get to learn with these extravagant things is one word:
what?
Poverty.
You think
and
so?
Children are born into like being homeless, and it's sad. I mean, any person would think like, why do these kids have to suffer this much? Because they don't have a house, they don't have money, clean clothes to wear to school. And it's like, why does this happen? I mean, why do people let this happen? More people need to speak up, and they need to add money, and they need to give to the homeless.
And so you think that there ought to be some kind of campaign that ought to be waged by the American people to make sure that children that you know in your category, in your age group, ought to be able to have access to all of these instruments that you talk about and that you have now?
Oh yes, many people need to have access to this, because all you think this is a regular cell phone, just talk and text on it. This is my learning instrument. I read on here. I read stories on here. I read the news on here. And some people who don't have access to newspapers because they can't buy to have 17 magazine delivered to their house, or Life, or all that Pop Star magazine and stuff. This is all that in one thing, and it didn't even cost that much. $100. I mean, I say that would be a big price. I mean, some people who are so rich, they say, wow, man, that's like $50, man. That's just $50 to me. I'm like, how could you say that? I mean, this thing is my learning instrument. Without this, I wouldn't know half of the things. It's a calculator. It's all that in one.
It's a calculator as well as a reader and
Pedometer.
pedometer and just a whole lot of
Camera.
things, that a camera as well. And so you have in your hand a real instrument, and you think that a large number of young people have been sort of left out in terms of having all of these instruments, and that somehow we ought to be able to create a situation so that they can become more digitally aware. Is that what we're saying here?
Yes, and the thing that really confuses me the most is that how come teens always live on Twitter and Facebook and all that, Yahoo and all that, but when it comes to the age group 6 through 9, none of them have that. I think that's wrong. I mean, how come you have to wait till you're like 16 and college age to have something this great to help you learn? You won't even need it by the time you get there. You'll be so smart, you don't need it.
Well, so that's what we're trying to do now with this program, Alana. We're trying to demonstrate that the people your age, between 6 and 9, and have all of the abilities to be able to do everything with these instruments, but unless they have access to them, they cannot do that. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that.
And
I fully agree with that.
do you find that to be the case in places that, in children that you meet? Do you find that many of them have these same instruments and have access to these instruments that you have?
Yeah, and it's so sad because this little thing can be so amazing, but it's also the target of a thing called cyberbullying. This is where all the laptop and children in the digital world comes in, because all these students, they are on Facebook, Twitter, and say you're on Facebook and you just got done with your first day of school and you want to just kick back and talk to your friends. Well, maybe one of the mean girls at school tease you because you don't have a cell phone and say, I say you're beautiful the way you are. Even if you don't have a cell phone, you're extravagant in your own ways. You're amazing in your own skin.
Mm-hmm. And very good, London. So we're getting ready for this second commercial break. And I want you to know that you've given us some excellent information in reference to in a real sense, the absence of many of these instruments among the younger generation of users. You've indicated that teens and perhaps those above teenage ages have many of these instruments available to them, but we are saying now over the last 20 seconds that we have here that more and more young people between the ages of perhaps 6 and 9 or 6 and teenage ought to have access, and that we ought to have a real campaign to make sure that this happens for all of them. Is that what we're saying?
That's what we are saying.
Very good. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.